can continue taking over the world of boxing, and I'll take every charge that comes his way. What up, guys? It's your mother's favorite fighter here, and today we're doing a Q&A. I asked some of you guys to ask some questions on my Twitter account, and today we're going to sit down and answer them. Let's get into it.
Alrighty, first question is from MC Weeks. Talk on some matchups for 05 and why you're most excited for them. Where do you see Breakout Boxing in 1 year, maybe even 5 years from now? And your updated end goal with this whole pursuit.
So a couple matchups on Breakout 05 that I'd say I'm most interested in. I think one of them is definitely you versus Augustin. I think this is a big fight for you, a big step-up fight. It's something that you get to show a lot for. You get to overcome like the pepper fight. It's kind of like the perfect build. You get to show your improvements ever since then, and it's obviously for a belt, so you get to join everyone else to be the champion. Another one is DDK versus Pineda. A lot of people, well, we know DDK is the top guy in his weight class, maybe in the scene. A lot of guys rank Pineda very highly in the scene, so it's two top skilled heavyweights coming together. Another one is Ant Mills and Soul. You know, we have a Street Beefs champion coming over to Breakout to fight our Breakout champion. It's a big fight for both guys, a big test. And you know what I'm saying, may the best man win. And I think one of the slept on fights on the card, because probably hasn't been much promotion. I think truly enough, is the guy that asked the question, Emerson versus McWeeks. I think honestly both the Emerson and Wilbur, the twins, I think they got a lot to prove. They've been making a name for themselves in this small Curtis scene so far, especially in the Misfits scene. You know, I know a lot of Misfits fighters like DTG interact with them all the time. You know, they've been making a good splash in the scene. So now it's time to see how they are in the boxing aspect. And Mick Weeks, he's the OG in the small Curtis scene. He's been here since the beginning. He's been involved with SCB, the promotion, Breakout, Rested Boxing, anything in between. So now he's finally stepping into the ring, and some people know behind the scenes that he's rarely shown his footage too. McWeeks got some skills, so we're going to be able to see how it translates to the real ring this time. Where I see Breakout in a year, maybe 5 years. Honestly, I'm not too sure. You know, I think the scene moves very fast. Anything can happen in a split second in any day. So I would assume we're still holding events. In a year, I assume we have about 2 to 3 events a year, so it'd probably be edging on Breakout 07, Breakout 08. So I'd expect us to still be running good, still be no issues, knock on wood. You know what I'm saying? Running up, bringing better events each time, upping our production and our quality of fighters and content. 5-year plan, that's too far ahead at the moment. Like I said, scene moves way too fast to go 5 years in the future. My end goal might be different from others. You know, a lot of people might think Misfits is the end goal. Misfits has never been my end goal, but continue to run Breakout. I think my trajectory definitely changed from a solo aspect of me wanting to grow myself to now me just wanting to grow Breakout. You know, whether or not that's me fighting on it or just being behind the scenes, promoting it and running the events like I did in 04.
Next question is from Grim at Grimvis. Top 5 favorite Breakout moments. This one's kind of a loaded question too, but you can kind of I think you've got your favorites. You tend to mention them all the time.
Breakout moments. God, top 5. So is this? I'm gonna change it from favorite to memorable. Okay.
Well, let's do. Yeah, we'll do that. Just yeah.
So memorable, I'm gonna go 5. Trent Ingram shitting under the porch at Breakout 02. That was fucking disgusting. I don't understand why he did it, grown ass man. I don't understand why Waffle let him do that. Waffle to this day, I don't understand that. 4 would probably be Breakout 02 as a whole. You know, that was our first time going into the gym, getting out of a backyard. We had good performances like Tatakai dropping Potent Frog, me stopping Trey, you know, King River, Colin stopping King River. You know, we had a lot of good performances for that event. I think number 3 would probably be mine and Isa's face-to-face. Well, really, mine and Isa's whole build-up. I think that whole build-up is very memorable. I think nobody in the scene has yet to top it. Numbers have come close, but nothing has yet topped it. And I've tried to top it, but y'all see with this fight, I'm struggling so far. But we're gonna make up for that very soon. Another one would be finally making Dennis and Waffle. That fight was 2 years in the making. They tried, it failed. So many people struggled. They wanted to fight. It was begged by the community, and somehow we made it happen on short notice. I think you can speak on that. It's crazy the backing on that fight and everything.
Absolutely, and that goes before even Breakout's time, man. That's like that was a big one.
And then another one, people might say this is like glaze and whatever, but another memorable thing for Breakout is just like DDK just coming into the scene. He came into the scene unknown, and quickly made a name for himself. He's one of the top guys in the scene now, not even skill wise, but name wise.
I think he's top 5 both.
Oh yeah, he's one of the most consistent content creators
pound
out
for
there.
Pound too. That's not even in the weight class he's in.
Exactly. The scene in both aspects. So I think this DDK coming in with that 40-second stoppage on Intrepid, who I'm unfortunately going to do the same thing to him on December 7th. But just DDK's arrival to the scene, that's definitely memorable.
Yeah, dude. I mean, every time you talk about DDK and his accomplishments, he's like, "Stop talking about my accomplishments and shit." I'm like, dude, I don't think you realize like how deep this goes. You know what I mean? So, shout out DDK, shout out everybody on Breakout. But we got a next question. Your rival in the Prime versus Celsius debate, Divine Xavier at Divine Xavier X. What would you rather? Walk to a fridge and drink a cherry freeze prime, or drag your nuts in a 16 miles of glass shards with a 40-pound weights on them while simultaneously blasting Justin Bieber max volume on repeat in order to arrive to the only store in the world with W body wash just to drink a whole bottle of said body wash within 30 minutes or you die?
Foremost, fuck Prime, SI, fuck Mems Taylor, fuck Misfits, fuck everything them related. I think the simple answer is I'm gonna drag my nuts in glass shards with 40-pound weights on it into the closest store where I can get a W body wash, and I'll drink that said body wash in under 30 minutes so I do not die. I think that's the answer.
I think the most painful thing is on the way, you're not blasting Jake Paul music, you're blasting Justin Bieber.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is Justin Bieber, but Justin Bieber and Jake Paul do support each other, so you know what I mean? It is a win-win. They are friends.
Yes, Justin believer and Jake Paul is a believer. Next question is from Love Life Zach at Love Life Zach. What you been doing different for this training camp? Question mark.
I think it's a very cliche answer, and it's been a very often answer in this one. I'm actually training. I'm outside doing rounds on the bag. I'm outside getting cardio in, doing sprints on the treadmill. You know what I mean? Getting into this gym down the road. So I think shit's getting very serious here into the build up for the fight. And I just to get to show levels of straight boxing. People like to call me Andy Ruiz. They like to joke about it. And I think we're going to see a very good performance. So people can be like a comparison. Andy Ruiz, not Andy Ruiz. They call me on Twitter. So.
I hope we see it, bro. I mean, I know you're winning, but I hope we see. I hope I see those videos, bro. Because that would be amazing. But speaking of your greatest performing fight, numbers wise, we have the man on the opposite end of that, Iza at official Iza. What's your favorite Misfits boxing event? Can't believe he asked you that question, but you might as well answer it. Favorite Misfits event?
People think all I do is hate on Misfits. I'm just a heavy critique on it because it could be ran and done a lot better than what it is. But they have not really had a good event since the Prime card. All the events have kind of just fell flat. A lot of pullouts, last minute pullouts, poor matchups. A favorite one that
all of 2024 is what you're saying.
It's kind of hard to think of one to my head of what's my favorite. The only one I can think of, I don't even know which Misfits it was, but it was when Dean the Great fought Waleed for the first time in Texas, and they had Hakeem Rockman get his ass whipped by Greg Hardy, and all the. I think that was my favorite of it. I can come to my mind. So
Absolutely, Mr. Orville Rettenbacher himself. But speaking of someone who is on the card, Wilbur at Wilbur YT underscore one of the twins. What would you do if Jake Paul got exposed for being at the Diddy party?
I don't know if anybody seen the Hunger Games, but when they seen the girl volunteer as tribute, I think that's what I would do and take his charges. So Jake Paul gets cleared of any charge, so he can continue taking over the world of boxing. And I will take every charge that comes his way. This,
Taking one, taking one for the team. Taking one for the team. I think you should receive a pallet of W body wash for that. Let's make sure we get that for you. The other side of this brotherly the other twin, Emerson at Emerson YT underscore. Who on Misfits would you run it up with? I think I know the answer to this question.
I don't know. I think it changed a lot. But realistically, there's no fighters on Misfits that entertain me at the moment. I think there's one answer that's very clear for me to fight on Misfits, and that is Mams Taylor himself. You little old rat bastard. I want to fight you on Misfits, okay? Even if it's not on Misfits, you wanted to fight Joe Weller in a parking lot. Let's run it in the parking lot, my friend. And then your mother's favorite fighter get its cracking whenever, wherever. So Mams Taylor is my answer.
Speaking of Mams Taylor, the guy who shouted out to him in the ring after he won at Breakout 03, at Patrick Typhlosion, at Typhlosion. What is the first title defense?
A lot of people, I don't really want to look over Intrepid, but I do got some opponents in mind. I got one that's not very new, but it's newer out to the public. I know I've talked about it in our group chat plenty of times in the past. Now that we're getting more street beef guys over here, I'll just give up two names. Obviously, I want the Iza rematch. I think I could beat Iza. I think Iza's improved after our fight a lot, but I think so have I. I think if I would have trained in the first fight, like I said, it's no excuse, but if I would have trained in the first fight, I think I would have definitely beat Iza, no problem. He likes to say he too owed me. I heavily agree. I think I won that first round. He obviously stopped me in the second round, so that's no doubt his round. But I think it was a close fight. I want to run it again. So when I beat Intrepid December 7th, expect Iza's name to be caught up on that mic. The second name, though, from Street Beefs, I said you should know because I said this for the longest. I want Scarface, the owner, whatever the fuck he does, the organizer. I want Scarface from Street Beefs. I'll even go to Street Beefs and fight him. He don't got to fight on Breakout. I'll fight on Street Beefs. If he wins, he can have my belt. If he don't want it, fuck off. But I want Scarface. I want Scarface. That's what I want.
It's kind of crazy. I know that Street Beefs and Scarface, from watching their content, they have a gym, so they want Breakout to have a little bit of a Street Beefs first Breakout event. They host it. We partly fund it 50-50. You know what I mean? We'd make the trip out there. We ain't no bitches. Scarface would accept the challenge. But
it don't even got to be a me versus him. It could be a whole event versus event. Breakup versus Street Beefs. Whatever you want to do, brother. Just don't be a bitch and accept the fight.
Anturo Gotti at AM Gotti. Mr. Ant Mills. Mr. Too Nice for the Fat Hose. What are the best Breakout performances?
I guess I'll just give three. I guess I'll sit strictly Breakout. I won't go Sword 7. Breakout performances. I'd say me versus Trey is up there. DDK and Iza's up there, and I think Ant versus realistically Ant versus Thomas or Zay, because I think both were really good. In the Thomas fight, he was more aggressive, but he was still slick and more of like a counter puncher. But in the Zay fight, he was a complete like counter puncher. Didn't get touched. I don't think Zay landed a single punch on Ant in the Zay fight. So Either one of those two, definitely a top performance.
JDM at Jerry is so temp 1. Dream walkout.
Yeah. I'm a little confused by this. Does he mean like song or like what do I want to do in my walkout? Or...
I think I like it's Jerry. So he's most likely asking what's your dream like walkout song? Like what like if you had one, like maybe not even reveal the one that you want to do. Maybe just reveal like one that you'd walk out to. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of
okay, I'll just give a dream walkout song. A live mariachi band, big one walking behind me playing the George Lopez theme song. Yeah, that's my dream walkout.
That would be outstanding. What's also outstanding is this question from Darren OD13 at Darren D05297664. Change your at, please. If you could make one fight on Breakout, which would it be?
Man, trying to think. Should I think of a canceled fight that's been in the works before, or should I just think of a new one? I would have loved to see Ant Mills versus USA Sand. That's one of the fights I would have seen. I think that would have elevated Ant Mills a lot because I think Ant Mills would have dusted that motherfucker. Another fight where it was obviously me versus Cake Paul. I think his little gimmick on the Jake Paul name is some bullshit, and I think it's disrespectful, and I'm gonna want to whoop his ass for it. But he's too much of a bitch to accept that fight. I'll give them. I know I only asked for one, but I'll give another one. And another one I want to see, bro, is AJ versus Thomas 2. You know,
I want to see that too, man.
It was supposed to happen on this card. Unfortunately, AJ got injured, so we're gonna have to see it again in a later event. But I want to see it now. You know, I'm starting to get impatient. I want to see that rematch. So I'll just say those 3 fights.
Absolutely. Next question comes from TFM Saint Omega. What's his at Saint_Omega123. Who is your dream opponent? I think you just kind of said it, but you can say whoever you want to say at this point.
I'll give 3 names. I've already said all 3 names. I want Big Sam, Cake Paul, Mams Taylor.
Well, all right. Well, there's one more question, and it is from Breakout Boxing. What is going down on December 7th, 2024?
December 7th, 2024, in my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. It's pretty simple. I'm going to walk in there, and I'm going to walk out as champion. But in between of me getting that belt, I was in the ring, 5-round masterclass, whooping up Raul Mendez, packing it up to go say goodbye to his dog, get the fucking merry-go-round back. So we're packing up Intrepid. He's going back, putting the fries in the bag. And December 7th, I come up victorious as your mother's favorite champion with a beautiful breakout belt. Probably not wrapped around my waist because I got a pretty big waist, but hosted over my shoulder like the Big Show used to rap it.
Well, it's the Big Show, and that's all we got for today. So, Leslie, you have anything to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say, shout out to all the guys that support me for this fight. Shout out to all the guys that hate me because regardless, y'all are watching me. Just want to say, I got more content dropping soon. This is one of many. Tune in for more breakup content. Go follow my socials, Leslie Gomez on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Go follow Breakout on all socials at Breakout Boxing, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. Go follow my man Pat Typhlusion on all socials, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever other social medias my man uses. Yep. And just stay tuned for the ass whoopings the CEO and COO are about to bring on December 7th.